30.
With Dirt Rally 2.0 coming out in just under a month, we got the fantastic opportunity to not just play whatever we wanted within the game, but to put it side by side with driving a real-world rally car at the Phil Price Rally School in Powys, Wales, the absolute heartland of Welsh rallying. Make sure to head over to thesixaxis.com for our written preview based around that idea and an interview with chief game designer Ross Gowing. But here in this video, we are taking a look at 5 ways that Dirt Rally 2.0 aims to be even more like the real thing. Number 1, an improved loose surface model. Codemasters are really focusing on improving the loose surface modelling and handling in Dirt Rally 2.0, and it shows in their choice of rallying locations. Of the 6 that you have in the game, Argentina, New Zealand and New England in USA are all about their various gravel surfaces. Australia mixes different types of dusty gravel with an occasional stretch of asphalt, while Poland is a mix of dirt and roads. So it's really only Spain that is heavily asphalt, and there's not even a hint of ice and snow, which means that everywhere apart from Spain is ideal for showing off the improved surface handling model and how it reacts to the different tyre compounds in the game. All of this is really built upon by number 2, surface degradation. Depending on where you start, you'll now have varying levels of surface wear to deal with. It starts from a relatively clean and pristine surface when at the front of the running order, but it extends all the way through to something that's much more rutted on the line through corners and has less grip on the outside as a lot of the loose surface has been pushed to the sides. The way that Codies have pulled this off is to have 3 stages of deformation and then blend between them the later into the session that you get to start. So it's not a fully dynamic system, and because of that you can rest assured that you're not going to end up with some crazy over-the-top rutting, but it does add an extra dimension to the rallying and a little bit of unpredictability. The best advice here is to aim to be somewhere in the top 5 to 8 so that you get something that you can really attack with and potentially push for the stage or the overall rally win. But beware when the running order is flipped around after a service stop between stages, because if you're high on the timesheets then that's going to put you towards the back of the running order. When you're first starting off, it might be a bit tricky to pick out the differences between the levels of degradation, but don't worry about that too much because Codies are giving you a UI hint to tell you which stage of degradation you're in, so that you can get an idea of what you're about to face. Number 3, watch out for the wet weather. Another thing that has been enhanced for Rally 2.0 is the weather, which can have a real impact on the surfaces that you're running on. Of course, wet weather has had an effect in the past, but here you're really forced to be much more attentive to the inputs and how much pressure you're putting on the car. Even at the low end of the scale, trying to stop a Mini on wet asphalt is like skating on ice, and you are very, very likely to lock up the front brakes if you're not careful. Again, it's not a fully dynamic system, but depending on the stages there are different conditions that can crop up and make you regret your current car setup. Speaking of which, that has also been enhanced because number 4 is picking your own tyres in the setup. You can now pick different tyre compounds ranging from soft to hard, and that is a really big deal if you look at the stages that you've got coming up ahead. Long stages will really punish those soft tyres, wearing down their grip and making the car trickier to handle, but those tyres are ideal for short and sharp stages because you can trade the grip and time for durability with the harder tyres. Once again, this really plays into the handling model, especially in combination with the loose surfaces, because it's all about how the tyre models interact with the improved road surfaces. Number 5, you've got the best driver calls yet. During development, Codemasters have brought in rally driver and esports champion John Armstrong to be an in-house consultant on the game, and they've paired him up with the legendary code driver Phil Mills to do all of the calls that you hear when you're out on the stage.
30, 4 right of a crest, narrow, 70. 5 left, tightens narrow, and 6 left of a jump.
With bespoke stages once more after Dirt 4's procedural generation, this pair have been able to really fine-tune the calls that you hear. They've run the pair of them through each stage at different speeds to cater to different skill levels, and they've also strapped them into real motion rig so that you can get a really lifelike shudder and rattle in Phil's calls as you go over the various bumps and twists in the road. It sounds great and the timing feels pretty much spot on as well. Finally, I just want to highlight a little in-game Easter egg which we spotted about the driver that you have in the game. You've got a choice of the various avatars, but the demo units at the event all seem to be sporting the face of John Armstrong himself. It was particularly amusing to note this when coming in around about 5th or 6th at the end of the stage, but I cannot confirm or deny whether or not he did the motion capture for this. Thanks as ever for checking out our video. Make sure to head over to the6axis.com for that hands-on preview, or stick around here on YouTube to catch up on our first batch of videos and previews from 2019. If you've liked this video, please do hit subscribe before you go, and hopefully we will see you again soon. Goodbye.
Slow 20, keep right of a crest, turn unseen, open hairpin left. 3 right of a crest.